Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Benchviews Sport Pod, the first of 2023. I got my two new guests with me, Nico to my left, Man United fan. I got my boy Carlos, you've seen him before, he's been on the pod before, big Arsenal fan.
Oh, let's do it.
Buzzing, innit? Hey.
I know you're buzzing.
Nah, definitely not. But yeah, boys, we'll start off with biggest game of the weekend so far. Tottenham Man City. Tottenham win no winners. Harry Kane scores his 267th Spurs goal. Tottenham's new all-time record goal scorer. What do you think of the game today?
Bro, CJ ain't been up for it for the whole season, man.
It's been weird, isn't it?
They've shown in moments like where they're coming back, but it's always just they always fall short in the next few games, isn't it? Happened with United game today, a couple of times. I think one time at home, like before the World Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Was it
the
the Brentford game?
Yeah,
the Brentford game,
that
innit?
one. I think they lost it, innit?
Yeah, they lost it, yeah.
I'm just saying, where's this Tottenham been?
I want to know the same thing.
I can't lie. I think City. If Tottenham didn't rise to that occasion, I think City would have probably beaten them because they weren't as bad. It's just I think Tottenham really rose up to that occasion. Like the energy. I think Bentancur changed that though, man. Today.
Yeah. He's probably one of our best players, bro.
He
like
showed
honestly,
a bit of composure in the middle.
Bro, he'll take the ball anywhere. Plays with aggression. Like he just makes us tick all around. Like he's class, man. He's class. In regards to City though, what do we think in regards to like Pep's decisions with obviously letting Cancelo go and chopping and changing his lineups? Like, what do we think of that?
Bro, Cancelo going, bro. It makes sense why he went because obviously there was like a bust up, it was like in the training ground.
Allegedly,
bro.
So they say.
But I don't know if it's the right decision. Like, at the end of the day, you can always still make up. Like,
exactly.
These bust ups happen all the time in the clubs and teams, and to let a guy that not just has the quality but has the know-how at the end of the season to win a title, and not even just win a title but chase a team like at the top, like done with Liverpool, and how they didn't have Arsenal. But it's Pep, innit, man. You can't predict him, man. He's that guy.
He's probably seeing something in the training ground that he's probably thinking that these men are probably like see what happened with Liverpool. Like they kept the same players even though they won or they competing. It's like the standards dropping. So maybe he's like sort of trying to refresh it, like bringing like Rico Lewis in, sort of adding that extra competition, like make it known that their spot's not safe. Or again, he's just toying it around too much and he's just trying to make it difficult for himself.
Yeah, I feel like he plays around with his formation too much and his personnel way too much. I feel like the best teams always have a solid 11 that they have, but then if you need to change it up here and there, you have personnel that can come in and still fill the voids left. And I feel like with Pep, it's always just a change and mix, and it's like eventually it's gonna come unstuck eventually, innit? And it's just like that's what's happening now to me anyway. Because it's like you don't just let Cancelo go mid-season.
Yeah,
It's a weird decision. Like even I feel like even letting Raheem Sterling go was a bit of a wild decision as well. Because now we're looking at it now. Today, Grealish and Mahrez both want the ball to feet, whereas Sterling will take the ball.
He'll drive
with it, or he'll get in behind. Doesn't mind.
Grealish he was on it today though.
Yeah, man. I think he had a good game. But I feel like if he's always gonna want it to feet. He's never gonna want it in behind, is he? So it's like you need a different dynamic.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like City have kind of lost a bit of that at the moment from what I've seen so far.
If you just look at this team though, man, still ballers, bro.
No,
it's true.
Still ballers.
That's funny though, man, because like you look at Arsenal, everyone's getting on to us like, oh, we ain't got the depth, but then you look at City. They're missing the brainer, but then they can bring like Gundogan, Bernardo, and they still can't do it. So it's just like got to put a bit more respect on Arsenal as well at the same time, man.
Well, we'll get to Arsenal. We'll get to Arsenal in a minute. But Harry Kane, what are we saying? 267 Spurs goals. Spurs' record goal scorer. 200 Premier League goals now. What are we saying for Harry Kane?
Bro,
just missing that title, man.
Yeah,
missing a trophy now, innit?
Yeah. The thing with Kane was like a lot of people just want to put the whole like Premier League title or zero trophies, right? When you look at him and his career, but when I think of Harry Kane, you got to think of those players that have stayed loyal at the clubs and
But they've
become
still-
great. Like the one person I think of is Totti.
Still
Oh
won the league,
yeah.
though.
Totti won. He's
Totti
won
won
stuff.
the league.
he
That's
won
the
stuff,
thing, yeah. But he didn't win that much. Like, people were saying to him, like, he has to move to a different club, to a better club, to achieve what he can achieve. That's the thing with Kane. He hasn't won it yet, and that's a big issue. Like, it's just going to be a taint in his legacy. I don't know if as a Tottenham fan, like, what you feel about Kane not winning it. Do you think it's best for him to move, or what?
Do you know
I
what?
think you lot are ready to let him go now, innit?
Do you know what it is with Kane? Yeah, I feel like he's had opportunities to win trophies with us in the past, so he can't escape being part of the blame as such as Harry Kane's playing in a team that ain't good enough. Harry Kane's played in Tottenham teams that have competed and should have won trophies. I'll give you like 2 FA Cups we played against Man United in the semi-finals. We should have won that. Fair enough, the Champions League final was a bit of a but still, he's had opportunities and chances where he can win things with Spurs, and he hasn't pulled his weight to a degree and done showing what he can show. You know what I'm saying? So
Do you think
he's not exempt from taking blame at all. I
I
can't
hear
say
it,
that.
but this is a man that's like multiple seasons, like finished 20 plus goals. Like, it's just, what else do you need him to do? Like, it comes to a point where like he's doing everything.
Not necessarily though, because he's had Son. He's had people around him, bro. That
Yeah,
have
look
been
at
able to.
that Champions League run
Yeah.
Tottenham had when
Yeah,
Lucas
when
Moura
Keane was missing,
got
yeah.
us to the final, bro. Like Son got us through the quarters playing against Man City. Like, remember them 2 games Kane didn't play.
Yeah, no,
So
true.
a lot of people even said we're a better team and Kane
Yeah,
doesn't play
yeah.
sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying? So
I
for
think
me,
I think
it's
you just got to
like-
wait where you lot finish the season.
do you know what?
Because if you guys finish outside top 4, he could. There's a good chance he'll leave if a big team comes knocking. Like,
I think we'll get top 4 though. I don't see Newcastle sustaining it, to be honest.
Really?
With you. Yeah, they all these draws and stuff. I feel like
they're
they're
Bro, it's still
dropping too
early.
much points.
It's still early. There's
what
a lot
people
of things that
forget.
can change
Like,
from
the
here.
season's dragging, man.
For you lot, innit? For Arsenal fans, it's dragging.
But yeah, anyway, moving on. Let's get into that then.
Yeah.
Everton,
Definitely.
Arsenal. Everton taking the 3 points.
It's just that new manager, new vibes.
That Sean Dyche
energy.
effect.
Yeah, literally, man.
But do you think Arsenal should be winning against Everton?
Oh, 100% we should be winning that, but just how we bounce back now, innit?
That's key word right there. Bounce back.
But
'Cause
How do we react to that? Because you know it is that we lost to Man City as well, innit? So could that have been like a change in like momentum? Like, did it ruin our momentum a bit because we're so used to winning? Did it flatten us? So that's another thing I hope it hasn't, because now that's 2 losses.
That's
in a row,
exactly
innit?
what I was gonna say. That's back-to-back losses,
Yeah.
and you haven't scored in both of those games.
Mm.
So that's another thing.
next game's key though. Next game's key against Brentford before the City game.
Yeah, they're flying, man.
This is another question I want to
That's a
ask you
big
lot as
week.
well. Yeah, are Arsenal starting to show signs of like cheats in their armor?
Nah, man.
You don't think so?
Not yet, man. We haven't been exposed, like nothing like that. It's just, bro, it happens in the season, man.
I think yesterday you was somewhat exposed because you wasn't threatening. I think Everton were all over you for large parts of the game.
We
man.
had if you see our chances, we should like Nketiah a couple chances. He went through
But-
all the guys' chances. But
let's be honest. The Everton could have been like 2-3 goals
yeah,
up in the
but
first
you know
half,
it is,
bro.
Man, it's just that energy-wise, man. They wanted it more than us.
Exactly. This is my point, though.
And then,
Bro, it depends on next game. Like
Yeah.
mentally, like on the pitch against Everton, you guys look like they were there, like they were winning
Yeah.
first ball,
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
balls,
Yeah.
everything.
They wanted it way
Onana
more than
just
you did.
dominated us in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm,
But I'm
that's the
saying
thing.
you can't have teams like that, like treat like
Yeah.
doing that to you. Now it depends on next game, bro. That's all. That's
But like I said, man, just one game in it, so we'll take that next game. Then Brentford,
Brentford
that's
at
got
home.
to be a statement because they're flying. So we got to sort of, if we can humble them, then it shows like we're here to stay. But if they come back and just
You lot popped them last time as well. I remember.
but they were a bit down at that time, weren't they?
Speaking on that as well, yeah. Martinelli's had a new contract, and then yesterday, let's be honest, he never had a great game.
Yeah.
Where we on that? Would you think it's like
Like I said,
new
man,
contract?
Nah,
do
you know,
things
it's like I
change
said,
or?
it's just one game.
No, but
I can't-
Martinelli's been
as
a
a
bit.
fa-
He's been a bit off since the World Cup. He's been a bit off.
Yeah, sure.
He's been a
Yeah,
bit
sure.
off.
If you
He's
look
been
at
a bit
performance, like he's still giving the same. Like I said, the stats probably ain't there anymore. But if you look at if you look at the actually look at the game, the way he's playing, like the way he's still same man, taking players on, like causing problems, like stretching defenses for us. It's the same thing. Like I said, it's just one game, man.
He does affect the game, but he's not having the same season that he had at the start. That's the problem. He's not like
Yeah, look how Saka's still flying.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Him and Saka were flying before.
both of them, and then now it's just Saka carrying the torch.
There
for you,
was
like,
a picture, I think, like of like the Arsenal players' positionings and how all the Arsenal players going forward, when they're attacking, it's all like slanted to the right hand side of
Yeah.
the Saka's. Like Martin's not getting that support, so I can kind of like give him the benefit of the doubt. And I don't, and that makes sense why they're trying to use Saka more as a attacking threat, because he's that guy right now.
He is that guy, man. So like I said, man, next week Brentford.
Sweet
That's
game,
when we
big
do the
game.
talking, because like I said, it's just one game. Everton will give that little pass.
But if you
And
don't win that game,
Yeah,
you might,
no,
do you
no.
reckon it's time to panic if you don't win it?
I mean,
They're panicking.
It'll
They're
creep in.
panicking. Secretly, they're
it'll
panicking.
creep in. But like I said, this is what we got to show what champions are made of, innit? Like if we
I hear that.
if we can get through this little patch, like again, City, they've gone through it. So
The thing, City have that know-how already. Like, you know,
That's
see
the
what
thing.
City will bring
and
to
you've
the
got to
table.
remember,
City,
like,
yeah,
in the
City,
league,
you know.
this is our second loss in the league.
It's true.
So, you know what I mean?
I mean, but do City have a psychological edge over you after beating you in the FA Cup, though?
Nah,
I don't think so.
Don't think so. I don't think so at all.
As Nico said, though, City know how to do it. Like, fair
No,
enough,
they
fair
do.
enough they lost to us today, but
How many losses is that though? For them now?
for City, 3?
No, it's
Three
more
or
than that
4?
I think like 4 or 5, bro.
4 or 5 now.
No way is it like 4 or
Yeah,
5?
it's like 4 or 5.
They
That's what I'm
lost
saying.
to
Like,
Brentford, United, the Spurs. I think there's like 2 or 3 more away. They got quite a few draws as well. Liverpool, they lost to Liverpool in Anfield.
Still, though. Only 5 points with, 18 games still to play.
that's what I'm saying. That it gave us that little breathing space. 'Cause I think if they would have won today, then yeah, do you know what I mean? It would have crept in. But I think we got like that little kick up the arse.
So basically, what it is they need to beat you both home and away now.
Basically.
Really. But
I agree. If Arsenal can get away with getting a draw out of them 2 games, or even just 1 win at least, then it'll be difficult for City to catch them. Just because the momentum that Arsenal in right now.
But let's also not discourage Everton yesterday as well.
No, definitely.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon they'll stay up under Dyche?
Yeah, I think he would. He's got the know-how, man.
He knows what to do,
Yeah,
innit?
he knows what to do.
So,
Solid Premier League manager.
And you got to remember, man, like what 10 years? He was 10 years at Burnley in the Prem, kept them in the Prem, you know,
Yeah.
with a
Yeah, he
limited
did.
budget.
Yeah, limited budget,
Now
yeah.
he's at Everton. He's got peas to spend now,
Yeah.
and he's got better players. So
Yeah. So this leads me into my next side, to the other side of Liverpool now. Wolves, Liverpool. 3-0 Wolves.
they are in the mud.
In the mud, innit? Sorry, Tyler, bro, but
I heard that's why he's not here though. It's just
the boys are calling you out, Tyler. What's happening? So you don't have to do the pod no more because of
you
Liverpool.
need to come show a face.
Come and show your face. Need to come back. But yeah, in regards to Liverpool, what do you think of Klopp and situation over there right now?
Squad needs a revamp, man.
Yeah, the squad ran its course now, innit?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the cycle's come to an end, I think.
Plus the injuries as well. So
It's just the midfield though. Like, they've been revamping their attack though. Like, they've got like their squad going as a forwards. You got Gakpo, Darwin, Salah still, Jota. You got to think about
Luis
Firmino still there.
Diaz.
Luis Diaz, bro. That's 6 supposed quality midfields on paper. So it's not, obviously they've got injuries, but I think the midfield, bro. The midfield is just, it's not. You look at it and it's like you can get at that midfield.
Yeah.
there's no legs in there.
Van Dijk is just not that guy like how he was
He's injured as well. So
when he won the Premier. Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's just that they're missing that spark, man. That energy. You know what I mean?
They've lost the spark, innit?
And I think with Klopp as well, I think he's feeling the pressure now.
Yeah, he's all getting at reporters and stuff
I don't
now.
think he's got the answers for it at
Yeah.
the moment. I think, and again, the owners as well, I don't think they want to spend that much either. Like, they
But
don't
I feel
usually-
like the owners have backed him, I think, man. They've backed
But I
him.
think like the wage structure, I don't think they've got higher wages. Like, we're sort of like if they want to bring someone in.
No, yeah, I think they have some sort of policy, don't they?
Yeah,
Where
they
they
got-
just don't want to like splash the cash like most clubs do, like how Chelsea are doing.
They
Like,
haven't got many
wanna-
outgoings either. Because you remember that time when they were selling Suarez, Coutinho, so they were making money off that. So I think right now, I think they might, if they cash in probably on Salah, man.
They should cash in on Salah.
Yeah, man. I think it's time now.
But how long? They gave him contract
They gave him a
quite
new.
recently.
They gave him a new deal like last season.
That's
Huh?
what I'm
Big.
saying,
It was a
man.
big deal as well.
Yeah, he ain't going
Revamp,
nowhere for
man.
now.
They need a revamp, man.
Yeah.
What are we not saying that the whole Sadio Mane leaving isn't a big part of it as well, though?
I would say-
I think it is personally. For
It's
me.
definitely a part, but I don't think it's a big, massive part. Like how bad they're doing though.
Yeah.
I mean, in regards to that, yeah, obviously they're gonna say the injuries as well and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But I feel like they sort of lost a cutting edge with Mane leaving, whether,
Yeah, I mean,
whether
he-
people want to believe
he
it or
was
not.
part of that system, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that,
But I think he was a catalyst in that system, though.
yeah. But again, I think it comes down to that middle though, man. Like Nico was saying, it's like aging players. Plus Harvey Elliott, sometimes he's like, sometimes in the wing, sometimes in the middle with what's the other boy, the young boy Carvalho. Stuff. They got it, man.
But they still play Fabinho in there. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with Henderson. Henderson can't seem to get around the games on the team anymore. Like,
yeah, man.
See Milner drop in there sometimes.
Milner drops in there, and you got Keita that can't even seem to get a game barely. Like, he comes in for one game here and drops out for like another 4 weeks.
And I think even before that, man, Wijnaldum, I think that was the start, man.
Losing Wijnaldum as well, innit?
I think that was the start when he first left. I think that was the start, man.
But the weird thing for me is like, you'll go and spend money on Gakpo, but why don't you go and spend some money on the midfielder as well then? Well, why wouldn't you? That's another thing why I don't sympathise with Liverpool as well, is because why haven't you prioritised the areas that you need to prioritise? You got enough forwards, as Nico's pointing out, you got enough forwards in there. Why did you need that Gakpo signing? For me, that's the way I looked at it, because it's like...
Probably because United wanted them. I remember United were linked heavy with Gakpo.
They were, but it seems like they're just being reactive though, innit?
Yeah.
It does look like it.
Yeah, and I think they just tried to go with, like, again, Carvalho and that, Elliott, and I don't think... Elliott's had a half decent season, to be fair.
He's been alright. He's scored a few goals and that. He's been alright, yeah.
Trent and Robbo as well, just ain't been up to it this season either.
Yeah, Trent got his arse handed to him the other week.
Speaking of
against
handed every week, bro.
Yeah. Like, Van Dijk's not been there. Like,
Gomez hasn't been the same as well.
Yeah, Gomez isn't the same. I mean, Konate's been okay. He's been okay when he's been coming, but it's like...
He's out now as well, though. He's injured.
Yeah, so it's like...
Matip. Everyone used to say it does Matip play as good as if Van Dijk's not there.
Alisson's just...
trouble.
He's had his moments, but he's probably been their best, like, most consistent player. I would say Alisson.
They sit 11th in the table now. Where do we see Liverpool finishing this season then? Really?
I think... Remember they got... What's his name? Arthur coming back.
Oh, Arthur, yeah.
Got him coming back, obviously Diaz, Jota. So once they come back in a couple of weeks...
I don't think it's much difference, though.
You never know,
I don't
man.
think it'll make a difference.
But like I said, once they come back and then they can say they've got a full squad or, like, attacking-wise, I think we'll take it from there. At the moment, I think probably mid-table as well.
I agree.
Because remember, they've got sort of likes of Newcastle that they don't make it, they'll probably drop down a bit lower just in front of them.
So you don't even think Liverpool can get into like the Conference League spots?
That's probably the best they can get.
Seventh?
No,
Seventh, eighth,
probably.
I think.
They could probably squeeze that. Maybe a sixth. But then you got
sixth? You reckon Liverpool could finish sixth?
They could squeeze something in. Like I said, man, you never know. Once they get their players back,
Fulham are doing very well, you know.
Yeah, they are.
Teams like
Fulham and Brighton are doing very well.
Like,
they're gonna have to they're gonna have to tumble a lot of teams to finish in that. But
I think if they can go, I think they're still capable of going on that winning streak if they get them players back. Could just salvage it because I think the home record's still quite decent. So,
wow.
But like I said, to be continued.
Well, we'll see.
Long live the downfall. That's what I'm saying.
Do you want to say that a bit louder?
Long live that downfall. You've got loved Liverpool downfall.
Anyway, Nico, your team, Manchester United, 2-1 victors over Palace.
Yes.
Rashford scores again. Talk to us. What's your outlook on United right now after that victory as well?
Bro, so for like things are coming fast right now. Like the Bremen, this is still Ten Hag's first season. Like, he hasn't even completed a whole season. He's already in a cup final, still in the FA Cup. Just got Europa League against Barca. Only 2 points behind City now. I mean,
2 or 3.
2 or 3, I think. No, I think it's 3. Sorry, 3 points. I still think Ten Hag just needs a few more players. Like I still think he needs some players that he might want to complete that squad. Like that squad's still missing some like squad depth. I think if you look at the way he's been playing, the same team every single week. Bear in mind, like this February fixture has been like 2 games. Sorry, every 3 days, 4 days, like games, and he's just been sticking to the same team. So squad depth is obvious. Like we need that squad depth, and it showed against I think Arsenal when we lost Casemiro. Martial wasn't available. He hasn't been available almost all season.
3-2,
yeah. You can take that one. But you know what I mean, like, and then we had to drop in McTominay. Like McTominay's alright as a squad player, but he's not that type of guy to bring in for these type of games. So it's game by game, innit? That's all I'm saying.
Game by game.
Top 3. Yeah, I'm confident with top 3. Like I said, I think Newcastle, like you lot mentioned, that Newcastle will probably drop a few points. here and there coming to the end of the season. Spurs, I still think Spurs got some losses in them, to be fair. I don't think they'll win every single game. I don't think United will either, but I think top 3. For now, the way we've been playing, that should be our aim.
But I can't like honourable shout out to Wan-Bissaka, man.
Yeah,
I managed to. I respect what he's done as well.
Turned it around.
Yeah, he's turned it around for. And he done it like he ain't made a fuss about the situation. He ain't thrown the toys out the pram like others have. He just put his head down and got himself back in the team. So
yeah,
fair enough.
And you got Sancho back as well now.
Sancho's back.
Let's see how
Smiling.
that goes.
Rashford scoring goals.
Sancho could be playing number 10. You never know. Lindelof might be number 6 in midfield. I don't know.
Well, talk to us about that then, because I see someone else say that on Twitter the other night, saying they wouldn't even mind Lindelof playing in the
I think
DM.
it's Ten Hag was saying like how Lindelof played number 6 position in Benfica, so we're trying to like make him like a versatile type player, coming centre back, and obviously he has to go into that position in midfield. Then fine, and it's good. Sometimes you need players like that. Sometimes you need these type of versatile players that can do that, because like you said, we get injuries. You might want to bring on like more better quality into that midfield, and you have him there. Like you said, Wan-Bissaka stepped up to the criticism. His defense has always been there. He's still got some to work on, I'll probably
I
say.
think the best 1v1.
No, he's probably the best one defender. Yeah.
Bro, like Zaha said, bro, you see Wan-Bissaka there, man. Like he's catching up to you. The only thing is that it's the high balls. You see balls coming in from like the right mid, dinking it over his head. He just seems a bit lost, like doesn't know his positioning. That's the only problem I would say from him. Going forward, he's playing pretty good. So still young. He's still got a lot to learn. So hopefully he grows, man.
I think Ten Hag's a proper like hands-on manager as well.
Well, on the training pitch.
Yeah. So I think a few players are going to be benefiting from that.
Lissandro and Varane. It's a quality partnership back there, and it's working at the moment as well. Lissandro looks like a flipping world-class defender, man. Rightly so with that World Cup as well, because I think he's probably one of the best centre-backs in the Prem, man. I'll be honest with you, because I don't feel like no one seems to be able to get the better of him from what I've seen.
Yeah. I agree with you, bro. I've got nothing more to add to that.
Yeah.
Martinez is just that. He's been out the best. He's probably been better than Varane. Varane's Varane. Like, he's always going to be top quality centre back. And the partnership they've done, like, it's just, I don't want to say it too soon, but it kind of reminds me of like how Vidic and Ferdinand got along so well. Like, they knew like Varane could be looking that way. He already knows where Varane is behind him, and same for vice versa. And that's how like was like with them two as well before. But who knows, man?
So what you saying? No Casemiro for the next 3 games, though?
Yeah.
How do you think you're going to fare without him, though?
He's back for the League Cup, the Carabao Cup final. Yeah, at least that. Obviously now we've got Sabitzer from Sabitzer from Bayern. But Eriksen's missing, so that's a bit of a problem. So obviously we're gonna have to play probably most like Fred there. I don't know how, because Casemiro was a big miss for Arsenal. Like, that was a big game. We know that, but the next few games to see how we do with them, and that's what I'm saying. With squad depth, we don't. That's the problem going forward in the season. I don't think we'll. People saying title contenders. Like, I'm hearing that. I'm like, nah.
I mean, you're in and around though.
Yeah.
You're in and around, and I know you know it.
Are you scared as an Arsenal fan or something?
I'm not scared, but
Trust me, they're looking over their shoulder. Don't let this false confidence that they have for you, man. They're looking over their shoulder. They're not as comfortable as they think they pretend to be anyway.
we're
man.
taking it one game at a time.
Oh, now you're taking it one game at a time. Couple of people that you're around, no names.
We'll see.
Top of the league, top of the league, lads. Top of the league.
Bro, what I'm saying is, for Arsenal fans, is that you lot better pray that you lot win that title.
Oh, they better pray they win that league, because if they don't win this league, it's going to be insufferable for you lot. I'm telling you.
Comments. Bro.
Yeah.
And you know it, bro. You know it.
Yeah, I know, man. Don't worry, man.
Because Arsenal fans have chat. And you know what? I respect Arsenal as a club, obviously. As United fan, like, they do. Arsenal be doing it properly, though. That's one thing you'll give it to them, though. I can't lie. You can say, like, they haven't done it like how, like, money, oil, anything like that. Like, Arsenal have done it the proper way. Like, they've invested.
It's not done yet, though.
It's not done yet, but if it was, like...
But the infrastructure they've shown so far with backing Arteta and keeping him in the job for how long they've kept him in, fair play to them. But, yeah, moving on as well. Chelsea Fulham, Friday night, 0-0. Another
It's like what
game.
you're talking about, innit? All the money coming in and can't even score against Fulham.
Yeah, man.
But now, let's not discredit Fulham.
No, I hear it, but-
Fulham are a
No,
decent
no,
side.
yeah,
Fulham are a
right.
very good side. They're sitting, what?
You said it, was it?
Sixth or seventh now. Because
Yeah.
Brighton are sixth, so yeah, Fulham are seventh now. Yeah, they're sitting pretty in the table, doing well. Look, they've come to a lot of big sides this season and got.
How many points
and
did they
got
take off
results.
Chelsea now, Fulham?
How many points?
Did
They
they take,
what?
was it 4 points they took off them? Did
Mhm.
they beat them?
Yeah, they beat them right.
Yeah, they beat them
over,
last
yeah,
4
yeah,
points on the
exactly.
season.
yeah.
Man.
So
Yeah,
what
Chelsea.
what are we saying then? How do we feel about Friday night?
Chelsea, they just look lustrous. Just no ideas.
Yeah, lack of
Yeah,
but
but
Yeah,
it's
'cause
hard.
they ain't got that number 10, man.
they're lacking creativity, innit?
Yeah. That's
It's
the thing.
weird.
Like they just splashed on forwards. Enzo now, he's got a big number to step up to. Like it just depends how he. If you look at all the big signs the Premier League has had, like big money signings, they've all been kind of like they've not been playing that well. They haven't been lived up to that price.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously him being the biggest now, we'll see innit.
He's not a goal scorer. That's the problem, innit? So he's not really going to solve that in that.
Enzo.
Mm-hmm. No, Pogba as well. Like for United, he was not really a goal scorer, but he cost a lot of money. Some would say
But
flops.
that's
I
what
some-
Chelsea
see,
need
I see the player in Enzo. I see the player in him though. I do see the player in him.
Mm.
I do. In regards to Mudryk as well, what do we see? Obviously, he got hooked off at half time, but where do we sit with Mudryk?
Or Potts saying
It's too early, man.
it was for a cold or like some sort of illness, but he looks good. No, he looked good against when he came on against who did he come on? Was it Liverpool?
Against
Yeah,
Milner.
Liverpool.
Yeah, it was against. Well, hey, no,
36
No, but it wasn't just against Milner. He done some things in the game as well. Where it's like,
he influenced that game.
he influenced that game. He did. He come on, he
He
influenced.
just
it.
needs to. I think Potter just needs time. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potter can get those players gelling, but he's trying to keep everyone happy.
Mm.
They're big players. They're not like average players or like squad players. These are players that should tend to start like every
Well,
single game.
He's ready let their captain go, innit? Or Jorginho, so
Yeah.
it's a big.
So what are we saying for Chelsea as a whole then? Obviously, Todd Bowley, the new owner, spent a lot of money in the last 6 months, 600 million plus.
I want
What
to
do
know
we think of
whether- Is that him making the calls, or does Potter actually want these players?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like obviously when you for Potter, when you come to a club that's got obviously a lot of money financially, I feel like the quality of player you may look at increases. You look at the better quality players that you might be able to get. Whereas at Brighton, he can't really fish in a big pond because they haven't got the finances to do that. So obviously being at Chelsea, maybe he has had a say and said, "Oh yeah, I want Badiashile and I want Mudryk and I want so and so." We don't actually know, innit? But overall, though, it's like he's a good coach. So I don't see why he wouldn't be able to coach them on the training pitch anyway,
Yeah.
and they won't do a job for him anyway. You know what I mean?
But do you think he's a big club manager? Like you see managers that are good, but sometimes they can't handle it at a big club.
I mean, I feel like Chelsea should give him time because like it's like with Nottingham Forest at the beginning of the season with the 22 on the players they had come in. Like it's not gonna happen straight away. Obviously, he needs time to see certain players in certain positions, see who works out for him and who doesn't in certain areas. And it's not for me. The Chelsea's situation is not an overnight thing. He definitely needs time. So that's my viewpoint on
Just
it.
the pressure of the money.
It's the
innit?
pressure. Obviously, it's the pressure. Chelsea are a winning club. Like it's one of them situations. But
Sometimes just spending the summer, innit?
like fair play to Todd Bowley though,
I
because
think, I think Chelsea will get a buyer this season, innit?
they will. I reckon. I see them finishing and still finishing in the
Europa spots.
top 8. Yeah, I see them finishing in the top 8.
That's the thing, though, man. If Roman was there,
Cutthroat. Yeah, it'd
It'll
be
be
cutthroat.
gutted.
Yeah, it'd be cutthroat. It'd be
Champions League
cutthroat.
minimum.
Yeah, it'd be cutthroat.
So you
But
say no Champions League now for Chelsea then?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
They still win the Champions League.
They're still they can obviously they can do what they did a few years ago to us when they won it and they knocked us out of the running for it. But
Yeah, they can still do that. I mean,
you never know, man. Stranger things that happen. No one expected them to win the Champions League like in 2021 either. So
Yeah, it's true.
and they're
what
not
I
really
mean?
a standout Champions League side right now. They think, they're definitely gonna win it.
no, I don't think so. I agree with you. I don't see it either. Yeah. So with Chelsea now, how long? What do you reckon? How long do you reckon they will give him?
Well, they have to give him like this season and next season. Like, that's a must. But obviously, because it's
I
like
think they'll probably give him halfway through next season, see how he is. And it also depends on who becomes available as well, what other managers are available.
Poch is available.
You just got to see Todd Bowley as an owner as well. Like if it was Roman Abramovich, he probably would have like left him like halfway through the season next season.
Yeah,
if he was in
Todd
like,
Bowley
really
said
bad.
he will give him time as well. So obviously things change in football very quickly. But
Yeah,
Todd
he could be one
Bowley
of them
said in the
owners that
past,
give him
Todd Bowley
time.
said in the past he'd give him time, innit? And I think that's the right decision personally. Same way Arsenal gave Arteta time. So I don't see why that can't happen with Chelsea as well and Potter.
Yeah, I think he got blessed that he had this new owner, man.
It reminds me of like when United years ago, when United was just splashing cash at these players like Di Maria, Falcao.
See, the difference though is that they've signed all youngsters.
That's the thing, yeah, it is young. But so I'm saying like going forward, they're going to become better players, and then they're all going to want to play every single game or like the big games. I'm thinking how's Potter going to deal with this whole situation. There's going to be times where like
he's got a lot of experienced players in there as well. So it's not like it's all just young players. He's still got Thiago Silva, Raheem Sterling,
Aspie still there.
Aspilicueta still there. Do you know what I mean?
I think another thing is Kante, man. I think they've been missing him a lot.
Yeah,
That's
got a few
another
players
big
come
one
back.
as well. They've got I don't know if you lot saw on Twitter. I think Sky Sports did like a Chelsea piece and they showed like Chelsea's squad depth in every position.
Yeah, they got 3-4 players.
Yeah, they got 3-4 quality players in every position. It's like, bro, if they can get it to work and it clicks, Chelsea will be a big side again. So
it's got Nkunku to come in the summer or next season.
Remember, we even spoke about João Felix when he comes back as well. Like they got options. They got options. Aubameyang sitting on the bench. Chelsea still got options, man.
Aubameyang's done, I think, at that club.
Yeah, you reckon? Yeah.
He's out of the Champions League squad now.
Yeah, took him out Champions League squad.
Made his bed, he's got a lay in it now, man.
Would be an Arsenal fan. But yeah, man, I think that's all we got time for, boys. That's all we got time for.
Quality, man. Not like.
Thank you boys for coming on, of course.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you again for Tottenham for that win today.
Oh, look at this guy.
Oh.
No, we didn't do you a favour, done ourselves a favour. Remember that always. But
I'm chilling. I'm a United fan, bro. I'm just chilling right now.
I've been your host, Joey, Tottenham Joey.
Nico, Man United fan here.
And Carlos, man.
Thank you. We'll see you again next week. Thanks for tuning in.